Cassini's final descent. The message hidden in Saturn's shadow, September 15, 2017. The Cassini spacecraft, after 20 years of groundbreaking exploration, ended its mission by plunging into the atmosphere of Saturn. It was a calculated descent, a poetic finale to one of humanity's most successful deep space missions. Cassini, by then, had become more than a machine. It was a trusted witness to the outer solar system. Scientists around the world mourned its end but celebrated its achievements. They believed the mission had revealed all there was to know. They had seen the awe-inspiring polar hexagon spinning like a galactic storm at Saturn's North Pole. They had watched icy geysers erupt from the surface of Enceladus, an ocean world hiding beneath a frozen crust. They had mapped the vast methane lakes of Titan, a moon with an atmosphere thicker than Mars. The mission felt complete. Tens of thousands of images had been captured. Each one processed, catalogued, and filed into digital archives. The data was labeled, sorted, and studied. And then, over time, it was left to rest, like an old encyclopedia gathering dust. But something was missed. And Cassini, in its final moments, sent back one last secret. It wasn't discovered until years later, 2025 to be exact, when a team of researchers, not from NASA but from a private quantum computing lab, reprocessed Cassini's last transmission using cutting-edge AI. Not just any AI, but a quantum neural network designed to uncover structure in cosmic noise, to see patterns invisible to the human eye. That's when everything changed. Deep within a sequence of what looked like ordinary atmospheric frames, images of Saturn's hazy clouds and glowing storms, something unusual appeared. At first, it was subtle. Almost invisible. But the deeper the AI looked, the clearer it became. This wasn't a glitch. It wasn't data corruption. It wasn't light distortion or mechanical failure. It was a pattern. A deliberate, mathematically structured signal. Fibonacci spirals appeared within cloud swirls. Golden ratios emerged in pixel clusters. Prime number sequences revealed themselves across time-stamped frames. Each form encoded with precision and intent. These weren't natural phenomena. They were far too consistent, far too synchronized. The patterns repeated across multiple images taken from different angles, at different times, and under different conditions. It was as if something, or someone, had hidden a message inside the chaos. And the message didn't use sound or electromagnetic signals. It wasn't radio. It wasn't light. It was math. The universal language of intelligence. As the researchers enhanced more images, they discovered that the patterns were pointing to very specific coordinates, places on Saturn where past scans had always returned confusing or unreadable data. Those areas were once thought to be unstable, too chaotic for clear readings. Now, it appeared they had been deliberately shielded. The patterns didn't just exist. They radiated. They aligned with magnetic anomalies, regions of Saturn that had been ignored for years because the instruments couldn't make sense of them. But now, through the lens of quantum AI, it all made sense. It wasn't random. It was encryption. A cloak of mathematical noise designed not to hide forever, but to delay understanding until the right tool, perhaps even the right civilization, came along. And then, the discovery that truly shook them. Cassini had been programmed to take a final sequence of 12 rapid images just before it burned up in Saturn's atmosphere. A last snapshot of the unknown. Only 11 of those images were ever successfully decoded. The 12th? It wasn't corrupted. It wasn't lost. It was locked. The file was complete. The transmission was clean. The binary code was intact. But every attempt to read it failed. No AI, no system, no algorithm could render it into an image. It was as if the frame had a key. A lock built not by human hands, but by something that understood how to communicate beyond us. A language of delay. A challenge left behind by an unseen intelligence. Some researchers started calling it, the Eye. The Eye of Saturn. A cosmic intelligence revealed the mystery of Cassini didn't end with a signal. It opened a doorway. After the discovery of geometric patterns in Saturn's atmosphere, the team of quantum researchers expanded their search, not just within Cassini's Saturn data, but across the solar system. And what they found was deeply unsettling. The same mathematical structures, golden ratios, Fibonacci spirals, prime-based grids, were appearing in other places Cassini had visited. On Titan. On Enceladus. On Dione. The moons of Saturn weren't just rocks in orbit. They were part of the same geometric system, aligned like satellites in a vast, cosmic circuit. And then came the connection no one expected. A link not to Saturn, but to Earth. The geometric patterns found in Cassini's final frames echoed the ratios embedded in humanity's most ancient sites. Spirals carved into cliffs by lost civilizations. The perfect symmetry of the Great Pyramids. The encoded math in Stonehenge, Göbekli Tepe, and other megalithic structures. Could it really be a coincidence? Or had something, perhaps something far older than us, been whispering to humanity from the very beginning? The theory emerged quickly. A growing number of researchers began calling it the Saturn Code. A complex framework of cosmic geometry that doesn't just span the solar system, but our own past. And yet, just as the theory began gaining traction, reports started surfacing. Whistleblowers. Leaked emails. Encrypted communications between scientific agencies. They revealed a troubling truth. Some of the images processed by the AI weren't just patterns. They were symbols. Recognizable shapes. In one case, a perfect triangle formed across Saturn's southern hemisphere. In another, pulses of cloud activity matched the rhythm of Morse code. These frames were quickly classified. Access was restricted. Researchers were reassigned, silenced, or forced to sign binding non-disclosure agreements. This wasn't just science anymore. This was control. A debate ignited across the scientific community. Skeptics argued that this was all a case of pareidolia, the human tendency to find patterns in randomness. They blamed overprocessing, algorithmic hallucination, and coincidence. But cryptographers, mathematicians, and data scientists pushed back. The signal didn't just repeat. It evolved. It appeared to react. It was consistent across distances, angles, and time. It was, in every measurable way, alive. And always, the mystery circled back to the eye, the missing 12th frame. A file that refused to open. Not broken. Not erased. Encrypted. But by what? Some believe it's locked until triggered by a specific event. A cosmic alignment. A burst of solar energy. Or something more abstract, a human realization, a paradigm shift, a technological milestone that proves we're ready. NASA has remained publicly silent. But outside the institutions, momentum is building. Open-source teams around the globe are attempting to crack the eye. Some report strange architecture within the file. Others claim the checksum of the image doesn't match any known error format, suggesting the file is intentionally obfuscated. And one rogue theorist has suggested something even bolder. That the 12th image isn't just a picture. It's a door. A kind of cognitive key that will only unlock when our understanding of the universe shifts. Just enough, to align with the intelligence that left it behind. Because maybe Cassini wasn't just our eyes. Maybe it was our invitation. A final whisper before silence. A signal across time, meant not for the moment it was captured, but for the moment we're ready to understand. We thought we were the explorers. But now we know, we were the studied. We were the observed. We were the message. And somewhere beyond Saturn's cold rings, something intelligent, something ancient, something patient, is still watching. The eye has not opened. But the countdown has begun. Share this story. Comment your theory. And subscribe, because this isn't the end.